Welcome to the Free to Soar Podcast. My mission is to inspire, empower, and equip heart-centered, mission-driven, kingdom-minded business owners to show up freely and fully as the brilliant, powerful change makers that you are, so that you can lead the business and the life of your dreams. You'll enjoy vulnerable, authentic conversations with me and other heart-centered, mission-driven leaders that will spark your heart and ignite your passion to powerfully transform you, your business, and your life from the inside out. Your next level of impact and income is about unleashing the fullness of you, reprogramming your limiting beliefs and patterns, tapping into and trusting your inner wisdom, and harnessing God's power within you so that you can unlock new possibilities in your business and your life. And this show brings it to you. Step with me into a God-powered reality wilder than your wildest dreams, with freedom, impact, abundance, and enjoyment that you were created for. Let's go. Well, hey there, and welcome to the Free to Soar Podcast, the show for heart-centered, mission-driven business owners and leaders who are done with burnout and ready to build a business that feels as good as it performs and a life that is fulfilling and joy-filled. And I'm Connie Jones, business and transformation coach. And today we're going straight to the root. We're going right to the mindset. This is the second of a two-part series on the top 5 mindsets that are keeping you stuck, that are creating that ceiling on you and on your business, on your potential, on your life, and on your joy and your freedom. And because mindset is so important, because you can have the perfect strategy, you can have the perfect team, you can have the perfect tools, you can have the perfect amount of energy and resources and still feel stuck, stressed, and unsatisfied. And like I said, this is part 2 of a series where I'm breaking down 5 and 5 mindsets. So the first episode we did was the top 5, the first 5 mindsets. This is the second part, and these are the second 5 mindsets that are the most common limiting mindsets that keep business owners trapped in patterns of overwork, under-earning, and self-doubt. And I'll share how to shift each one of these mindsets to create more freedom, success, impact, and yes, even more enjoyment. The joy in our business is so important, and the joy in our life. So let's get into it. Mindset number 1. Mindset number 1 is the belief that my worth is tied to my results. So this is a really dangerous loop for people. When your identity rises and falls with your wins and your losses, that's dangerous. That's scary. That puts you in a really a scary place, because when things go well, you're on top of the world. But when sales dip or launch flops, or something doesn't turn out the way that you want, then you're crushed and it feels personal. It's all about you and what you did wrong, or that you're a failure. And here's how it shows up. You overwork to prove your worth. Maybe a failed launch or something that you're putting out there new into the world triggers deep self-doubt or shame. Stepping out in some way brings up the self-doubt or the imposter. Maybe it's your self-esteem is based on your performance or your productivity, and you don't feel good about yourself unless you're performing at a certain level. For example, just give you an example. Don't know why my nose is itching today. I'm sorry about that. If you're watching the video, you can see me itching my nose or scratching my nose. I'm so sorry. Here's a good example of this is something that comes to mind is a successful founder of a business that I worked with would spiral emotionally every single time a campaign didn't meet her projections. We had to disconnect her identity from her business outcomes, from the results. And once she did that, she actually performed better because she was no longer acting from fear. It wasn't tying her up. She could focus on the process and working her process and doing that from a passionate place and a purpose-filled place rather than focusing so much on results and feeling just locked up in that from fear, because everything's riding on it when we're doing that, right? Here's how we shift it. Shift it by understanding you are not your numbers. You are not your outcomes. You are not your results. It's just the bottom line. Your value, your identity is not tied to your performance. And if we need to dive deeper into that, happy to help you with that. That was part of my story too. Had to unprogram that, reprogram, understand my worth and my identity and my value outside of my performance and the results. Number 2, anchor your worth in who you are, not what you produce. Again, it's not about how productive I am today. It's about who I am and how I'm showing up. And is that in integrity and alignment and in full passion and purpose? And does it bring me joy? And is it congruent with who I really am and how I want to be and how I want my life to go and my business to go? And then the last way to shift it is by speaking this new affirmation, by adopting this new belief, this new mindset. And here's the shift for you. It's my results reflect my strategies and my systems. They don't reflect my value as a human or as a leader. Time to make that shift. And if you're there again and you want to dive deeper into that, let's talk. I'd love to help you break free from that. Number 2 mindset that might be keeping you stuck probably is, I should be further along by now. We never want to be where we are. We always think that being somewhere else is better. It's going to feel safer, more secure, happier, more joyful. It means something about us. It's really important that we take a look at what our narrative is about where we are and what that means about me. Because there are a lot of business owners that struggle with, I should be further along by now. And it's really messing with you if you're spending time and energy on that, even if it's running underneath the surface in a subconscious way. And you don't even realize how much it's affecting you, but it is. The mindset breeds shame. It breeds frustration and comparison. It robs you of your presence. It robs you of gratitude. And it often causes business owners to chase goals that don't even belong to them. Like, think about that. Has that happened to you? I know it has to me. I've got to do something. I've got to be productive. I need to move this ahead. And I feel like I in order to feel good about myself, I'm going to chase something just to chase it. Well, here's how that shows up. You compare your path to others constantly. And then that comparison is the real thief of joy. You just miss all of the wins because they should have come sooner. You don't even stop to celebrate them. One of the things I do in my mastermind with business owners is we celebrate our wins every single time to start a session, because it's so important, because we dismiss our wins so easily. It also shows up as you feel behind constantly, no matter how much you accomplish. You can never get ahead. And that's just perpetual frustration and discouragement. Nothing ever feels like enough, and you can't enjoy any of it. So let me give you an example of what this could look like. A client said to me, actually, right after she hit a 6-figure month, and she said, yeah, but I should have done that a year ago. And that mindset stole her whole celebration. But once we reframed her timeline and helped her embrace her unique path, she stopped chasing, and then she started expanding. And it's a beautiful shift that happens. It's magic. Because when we're chasing, it's a whole different energy. And what we're going to attract when we're chasing is completely different than when we're expanding. So here's how to shift it, if that's your mindset, that I should be further along by now. Number 1, there is no behind. Your path is not linear, and it is not late. You are right where you're supposed to be. This is a journey of becoming, not of doing and getting it right. There is no behind. It's your process. It's your path. Embrace it. And then let's get off of the chasing and the discouragement and come out of that energy and into the expansion, into the enjoyment. Next, practice celebrating what's working right now. Move into gratitude. Move into the celebrations, the little wins. What can you celebrate? What is working for you? And how can we build momentum on that? How can we expand that energy? And then finally, here's the mindset shift for you, the affirmation. I trust the timing of my growth and I honor the season that I'm in. Just embody that for a moment. Breathe into that, feel that, and notice the shift in your body. Ooh, that's a big one. All right. Mindset number 3. I have to work hard to be worthy of success, to get success. And this is the whole hustle and grind myth. It's deeply ingrained and it's reinforced by our culture, of course. It tells us that ease is laziness and burnout is a badge of honor. We've all been there or know someone who's been stuck in that. Here's how it shows up. You resist rest. You can't settle. You feel guilty when you're not working. Feel like you're being lazy, not getting anything done. You can't get work off your mind. You equate your productivity with your worthiness. You believe that the more you suffer, the more you sacrifice, the more you'll succeed. A lot of us have that mindset. Another client of mine one time refused to automate parts of her business because it felt like cheating. And once we reframed automation as a tool for impact and not escape, her income doubled. And she actually got her evenings back. She didn't have to think about work. She didn't have to come home and work extra. She didn't have to get her work done, work on the business in the evenings like she used to, because she was able to gain some time back to work on the business during her regular day instead of being stuck in the business. So how do we shift this mindset? We shift it by, first of all, we reframe hard work as aligned work. You didn't start a business to live in survival mode. So we got to get out of survival mode. Survival mode is not serving you. Survival mode is not productive. It's just settling your nervous system in the moment, making you think you're being productive, but it's not really producing good fruit. We want to reframe into what is truly aligned work. What does it look like to do fully aligned work? What does it look like when your work is aligned with your real goals and is moving you towards what you really want? And it is in alignment with your natural rhythms and your giftings and your pace and how you like to function best and your strengths. It's a game changer when we do that. And then secondly, here's the shift. Here's the mindset shift for you. I'm worthy of success because I'm aligned and because I'm intentional, not because I'm exhausted, not because of self-sacrifice. I'm not a martyr. I'm not a slave in my business. I'm worthy of success because I'm aligned, because I'm me, because I'm being who I was created to be. And that's God's promise to us. That's our inheritance. That's our portion. Not because we're exhausted. We're martyring ourselves for money. It serves no one. It doesn't even honor God. Mindset number 4, I can't charge more because people won't pay for it. There's the pricing panic. And this mindset keeps us undercharging, over-delivering, and constantly chasing cash flow. And here's how it shows up. You say yes to low-paying clients out of fear and out of a lack and scarcity mindset. You take what you can get. You're in desperation. You discount your services before anyone even asks. You offer that. You feel anxious every time you send a proposal and you hate talking about money and you hate sales and it's so uncomfortable for you. And you don't feel like you're worthy of what you charge. You're uncomfortable with it. One of my clients, he ran a premium service business, but he was charging entry-level prices. And after some coaching, he raised his rates and his conversion rate went up. Why? Because people trust confident pricing. And when we're confident in our pricing and it aligns with the value, and we learn how to communicate that value to the client, they feel trusting. They feel safe rather than us just settling for breadcrumbs. Here's how we shift it. You own your value. Your price reflects your positioning, not just hours or effort. You own your value. You own the value of the service that you're offering, and you learn to communicate that. You learn to communicate what is the transformational value of what I'm selling and offering rather than the transactional value or the transactional fee, and focusing on that. And then you upgrade your self-talk. Here's the shift. Here's the mindset affirmation for you. There are people who are already ready to pay for the value that I bring. They understand the value and they're motivated. They can't wait to pay for my service because they know it's going to uplevel every area of their life. All right. And then mindset number 5. Mindset number 5 is success means sacrifice. Here's that one in a different way. We said it a few minutes ago that I have to work hard for success. I have to slave my way into success, and that is sacrifice. But this one is just about sacrificing. It's about what it's going to cost you, not just working extra hard, and that your worth and your value is dependent on that. But this is about sacrificing. It's about the cost. It's about what you're willing to sacrifice that is really important to you, like your time, your health, your relationships, all for the greater good. And this one's really dangerous because it's wrapped in this really noble sounding language. It shows up as you struggle to say no, even when it costs you personally. You believe that joy and success are mutually exclusive, that you can't have one and the other, that it's got to be A or B. And that's a scarcity mindset, that you can't have joy and success, that success can't be easy. It's got to be hard. You tell yourself one day I'll slow down, but that day never comes. It's perpetual. I'll give you an example. I had a 7-figure entrepreneur that I coached who was secretly absolutely miserable. And he hadn't taken a full weekend off in years. And when we restructured his offers and we restructured his systems and when we restructured his strategy, the way his business was structured, and created some boundaries and some limitations and developed his team, he started taking 2 days off a week without a single drop in his income. Actually, his revenue increased and he couldn't believe it. We got time off. So here's how you shift that mindset. You redefine success to include fulfillment. Success is joy. Success gets to be easy. It gets to be joy-filled. And that fuels greater success. And then you practice asking, what would it look like if this could feel good? If this could feel easy and enjoyable, or easeful and enjoyable, 5% more aligned and more easeful, how would it shift? And then remember that sacrifice is not a strategy in your business. It's actually a red flag. Notice where you're sacrificing, but you're not really okay with. It's going to create resentment, and it's costing you. It's costing you in a lot of ways. So, those 5 mindsets, notice them. If you just need to start with one, start with one. Pick one that stood out to you the most, and let's just start shifting, making those changes. What's one way I could do this? I could shift this mindset 1% today. What's one action I can take It's one shift I can make. And here's the truth. None of these mindsets are flaws. They're old survival patterns. They don't serve you, though, anymore where you're going. They might have served you to a certain point. They might have allowed you to survive and succeed up to a certain point, but they're no longer serving you where you're headed. And you're not here to just survive. You're here to lead, to expand, to create, and to thrive. So today, I want to challenge you. Pick the one. Release that mindset and take one action this week that aligns with your new truth. And if you're ready to go deeper, I'd love to talk. I'd love to help. Visit ConnieJonesCoach.com to learn more about private coaching. You can also reach out to me. Email me at ConnieJ@AriseCounselingandCoaching.com. And if this episode resonated with you, please leave a review or share it with another business leader or a leader in general who's ready to expand their mindset, who's ready to make the shift, and who's ready to get that transformational breakthrough so that they can be all they were created for and step into the more that's waiting on them. All right, you guys, hope you have a great day wherever you are in the day. Just make the best of it from here. See you soon. Thanks for joining me today on the Free to Soar podcast, where we empower and equip you to lead the business and the life of your dreams with freedom, impact, enjoyment, and abundance. I look forward to our next episode together, and I invite you to subscribe to be notified of new episodes as they are released. Please share this or your favorite episode with a friend or a loved one, and I'd love it if you'd leave a review on iTunes and Spotify.